Hey honey badgers, hopefully this angle is going to work. I have a Paint Some Way order today. A lot of times I do the themed roundups on this channel, but this one is completely 100% came from Paint Some Way. So I thought I would just leave it as is and film it as an order this way and show you what I got from them not too long ago. I think these came from, I think, a Black Friday sale around Thanksgiving, I believe. Mainly I got it for this big one because this is one I've been looking for a good little while. And I keep getting emails about this one from different companies. Every so often they'll show it in their, hey, new and upcoming emails, you know, the new products coming in. And every time I click on it to go look at it, it'll say out of stock, or it'll go to some other product that's not what I was looking for. So it's almost like the companies are like, no, that's cool, right? It's nice, but yeah, no, we don't have that here. So when they showed it to me around Black Friday-ish time, I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go look, and I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna put in an order, and hopefully it shows up at my door this time. And it did. So I'm gonna save that one for last because that's one of those big canvases. And then I've got a couple in here that were free gifts from Paint Some Way, because they have a thing a lot of times on their site where if you reach a certain order price threshold, they start throwing in free canvases. So I've got a couple free canvases from that, and then one that's it's not really offered as a package thing, but I've got one where I just bought all of the all of the options because there was only like 4 of them and I liked all of them. So a nice little mix of stuff here. Also, forgive my hands if you see the bandages. Earlier today I was doing a trim on my cat Huck's nails, and normally he doesn't fight me that much, but for some reason today he was not having it. And so he got me a couple times. And I'm not one that believes in declawing cats. I feel like if you want them as pets, you got to let them be their natural feline selves, but that also means like you do have to trim the nails back every so often, and that's just one of the risks of having cats sometimes, is they're going to get you every so often. So it's all good now. He's fine. Nails are trimmed. These will heal in a few days. But yeah, if you see the bandages going on, that's what happened there. So I guess I thought I would start with the freebie ones here. Let's see. I think these were both $4.99 on this site. So let me open up this one. I think they're both 30 by 30s, I believe. So this is a pretty simple one. I'm pretty sure all of these are going to come with the standard toolkit, just so you know. So this one is 30 by 30, 18 colors, and it's a little bit faint on camera, but it's basically just, you know, the Virgin Mary standing on a hillside with the royal halo around her, and then baby Jesus here with also a halo around his head, and then you have like the hills there. So just a nighttime scene of Mary and the baby Jesus that I thought was pretty. There's a little bit of a, yeah, that's not helping, huh? All right, I'll dig up the image so you can see a better look at it. But for 30 by 30, it doesn't look too bad, which is one of the reasons I went ahead and tried it, because the image itself is not overly complicated. And there's a little bit of a river down here. You probably still get the image of the river down there, but this is one of those ones where you don't need precise detail on mountain ridges and skyline, really. I mean, and there's no like big facial features to make out here. It's pretty much just her skin tone profile, side of her neck, and then some of her hair, and then robes. So I figured this one would work just fine in the 30 by 30. It does come in the sugar packet style, just so you know. But yeah, a lot of blue tones, some grays, some browns for the mountains and all that, nighttime colors. Yeah, that was one of them. And also the other freebie I got that's also kind of in that historical vein. I don't know that I think I might have one other image of the Colosseum, or just like Roman imagery in general. I know recently I showed the temple Hello Kitty ones, but I think I have one or two other ones that are also like more traditional in the Greek and Roman style historical scene. But this one I thought was really unique in that it actually had some greenery around the building. It's got what almost looks like poppies or something in the corner there. Which, like, yeah, you know, maybe not entirely historically accurate, but it's pretty. But yeah, there's a stone road going up this way and some flowers along the path, and then a tree up here, and then the Colosseum there, which I thought was interesting because it actually shows the broken version, which obviously is not what it would have looked like back in the day, which is what you would kind of guess with the nature still being around it. It would be closer to looking like it was back in the day. So it's kind of like a mix of old and new, I guess. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, pretty sure it's just an AI generated image, but I thought it was pretty. So yeah, 30 by 30, 20 colors all together. And the drill field doesn't look too bad. Pretty clean for a smaller one. Also in the sugar packet style, but some brighter colors on this one, but still some browns and yellows and blues. So yeah, those were my two freebie ones that I got. And then I got one crystal kit because you know how it goes. I was mainly looking for this big one, and then as one does, kind of just started looking around the site in general. And with the holiday season and everything, came upon this one, and I just thought it was cool and unique for a crystal one with a holiday lantern, church steeple in the back. There's some lanterns in the trees, but you don't drill those. Mainly it's the lantern here, and the poinsettias down here, and then a little bit on the roof steeple back there. Mainly just the lantern though. But I thought it was really pretty. Oh, and then I'm just noticing there's also a little bit of drilling on the tree back there, which I'm guessing is probably going to be white crystal, I would imagine. There's only 7 crystal colors here. This one actually does come with the crystal codes, which doesn't happen a lot, but if that's of use to you, that is included. So let me just see here. 3. Yeah, the ones in the tree back here are all white crystal. So your general crystal colors, no surprise, there's going to be a lot of yellow and red for the lantern and the ribbon and the poinsettias and all that. Some white crystal to do the tree and the church steeple. Some pops of green for the leaves. And then your specials are this red diamond shaped one. It's got a little bit of an orangish tinge to it. Some faceted red ones, which are going, whoop, about dropped those, going on the leaves of the poinsettias there. And then you also have some gold half domes, which looks like they're going to be the bulbs of the flowers. So yeah, nice little Christmas lantern. Again, I think that one was like $4.99, something like that. Alright, and then I got this one, which kind of goes with the larger one. They're both kind of in that Day of the Dead sort of theme. Sorry, I'm trying to find the edge on this. Okay, there we go. So yeah, found a Sugar Skull Girl that I liked. This one is in a landscape 40 by 30. And 25 colors. I was a little bit hesitant to get her because especially with sugar skull images. It's a little bit iffy sometimes to get them in 30 by 40 sizes because naturally with sugar skull decoration, you want the painting decoration to come through. But the way it was designed, she looked simple enough as far as the painting that I thought she would come out fine in a 30 by 40. She doesn't have a bunch of like complicated swirls like a lot of them can have in the cheek area. It's basically just the forehead design and then some paint around her eyes and then a little bit of chin detail. So I thought that would come out fine in a 30 by 40. It's got some earring detail here and then orange and blue crown with a little bit of pink in the corner. And then she's got some candles on either side of her and then up around her head. And then there's also some rose detail behind the candles. So yeah, very quintessential Day of the Dead style, but thought it was really pretty. She's also got a little bit of a necklace here. A lot of times when I have images like this that have jewelry and things like that, I'll tend to put the crystals or ABs or something in there just so it pops it out from where the hair strands are. So yeah, if I didn't say 25 colors in this one altogether. Again, sugar packet style. A nice mix of colors here though. You've got a lot of orange and blue and a little bit of green in there. Some orange for the hair garland. Little pops of yellow. So yeah, this is one I tend to, this style is one that I tend to work a little bit slowly through and figure out where I want to place ABs. So yeah, I tend to put them in Candlelight naturally, and then also jewelry areas, possibly some in like maybe the flower forehead or maybe in the flower crown. I don't go too crazy with it because I don't want it to look like, you know, gaudy with the ABs. I like it to just, you know, sparkle a little bit extra, but not, you know, glitter bomb everywhere. So yeah, sugar skull 30 by 40. All right, and then before I get into the big one, I'll show you this one. These are all sold individually. It's not sold. I don't think they have an option. They might actually. Now I can't remember, but I don't think there's one to buy them as a pack, because if there was, I probably would have done that. But I think I bought these all individually, but they're all listed on the same page. And they're all squares. They're all geometric print. I believe they're all 30 by 30 size. So I'm definitely primarily a rounds girl when it comes to diamond painting, but when it comes to geometric prints, I do like the way squares work with geometrics. So with these only being 30 by 30s, I thought they'd be kind of cool to test out. And they all have different color schemes and you know, feels to them. So this one is very blue and yellow, kind of like floor tile looking. Little bit of red and orange in there, but mostly blue and yellow pattern. It's almost got like that, like a quilt pattern there. Yeah, lots of interesting design. And sometimes these are fun if you want something that's sort of just small and meditative almost. Nothing that you have to think too dramatically about. You can just sort of, you know, block out sections and think, okay, I'm going to do this square and then this square. And it's just kind of fun sometimes to do that in between larger projects. If you want something you can just sort of zone out to, these are nice for that. These ones come in the pre-bagged ones, so no more sugar packets, at least for these. But yeah, square drills. Pretty vibrant colors on them though. And this one, there is 17 colors. So it's a little bit of an idea of how that one comes out. And then also kind of in that blue and yellow scheme, but a little bit different design. this one out. We have this one. This one almost looks like they took like one of the squares from here and blew it up almost. I'll give you, like that's the one I just showed you, and then this one. This one has also 17 colors. Design is a little bit easier to make out on this. Only a little bit of what is probably red or brown. That's that sort of reddish brown tone in the centers there, but mostly blue and yellow tones with some white background. So yeah, also pre-bagged. So there's that one. And then for you that are a little bit nostalgic about the 70s, this one might be for you. 70s was a little bit before my time, but I did see some of it because, you know, my parents got married in the 70s. So naturally, by the time I came around in the 80s, they still had their stuff from when they were newlyweds around. So I'm familiar with the color scheme that tended to happen in the 70s. And I did see a lot of this from that era carrying over into the 80s. And, you know, I've mentioned in previous videos, I grew up in a poor family. So a lot of times you would just have stuff passed down, and, you know, you learn to make things last for like 10, 20 years or something like that. So stuff that, you know, people probably gifted my parents when they first got married was still around by the time I was starting school in the 90s. So, yeah, I mean, you know, if it's still doing its thing, why not, I guess. 16 colors in this one instead of 17. But yeah, brown and orange and brown tones. This kind of reminded me a little bit of there were homes I went into. My mom, when I was growing up, my mom worked as a professional housekeeper, and she was one of those people that she had a part-time job as, you know, like actual hotel housekeeping, but then on the side she also did sort of like independent jobs she took on, and she went all over the place when I was growing up, and I was one of those kids that would go along with her. So we would go in all kinds of different houses. We go into houses that were a little bit older, like, you know, people liked the way it was, they didn't want to renovate it. But then she also had a few celebrity clients that she did, where I also did like the mega mansions and all of that. And so it went back and forth. But this kind of reminded me of some of those older houses we went into, where you would go into the kitchen that hadn't been renovated since like the early 70s or something, and you would see this on the kitchen floor or something. Kind of reminded me of that. So yeah, like I said, brown, orange, a little bit of yellow, stuff like that. Okay, so there's that one. And then the last option they had on that page, you know, like I said, I decided to get all of them because I was curious about how these geometric patterns were going to turn out. They have this sort of, compared to the other ones, this one is a little bit more southwest looking. 17 colors again in this one, 30 by 30. But yeah, that sort of classic southwest print on this one. When I was a kid, I'm pretty sure it might still be in the attic, actually. I might still have it around. But I had a jacket that had similar to this, not quite the same color scheme, but similar print to this. And my parents had blankets and stuff that had this print around it. That's pretty common out in desert communities. So yeah, 17 colors, and then a little bit brighter scheme on this one naturally. So you get more bright red, bright yellow. The red, I was going to see if it's the 666 red, but it's not. It's the reds in here are 321 and 946. But some of that bright blue I love. 3844, I think that's the one. So yeah, those are the geometric 30 by 30 squares I got. And then to close out this video, we'll finally get into this big one that I've been trying to get my hands on for like over a year. Because for some reason it was just, I guess they did a limited run print on them and people kept selling out on it. Okay, so it's the holiday cups, but it's in the Lady Guadalupe style. So not fully Day of the Dead like you might normally see, but it's Lady Guadalupe, so it's still kind of in that theme. But this is just this, you know, me growing up in San Diego and seeing Lady Guadalupe freaking all over the place when I was a kid. And then also there's cactuses up here, and I grew up in high desert. So there's so much in this image that just really reminds me of my childhood, between the roses and Lady Guadalupe and the enamel mugs and the cactus and the little coffee drinks and all of that. It's just, so much of this is imagery that I grew up with. So it made me all warm and fuzzy when I first saw it months and months ago. But yeah, like I said, for some reason, every time I tried to get it when it was, you know, presented in an email, the company would be like, just joking, we don't actually have that much. But this one comes with a little bit more of a advanced kit. The flimsy metal tweezers. Looks like you get a 4-placer and then also maybe a 7-placer on there. Squishy clear pen, a couple of things of wax, and a sorter tray. So this one is a 60 by 45. Pretty sure it's a round drill. 39 colors altogether. The key on it is actually pretty small, just so you know. But yeah, 39 colors, and this one actually comes with ABs. So I'll show you color-wise what we're looking at, so I can figure out what the ABs are. So like I tend to do with these bigger ones, I just tend to throw the general colors out here so you can see them. You can see kind of the palette you're working with. There's a lot of color mix in this one. But as you can see, pre-bagged. Sorry, they're slipping out of my hands over here. Oops. There's another AB. Is that maybe? No, that's standard. Oops. So yeah, so far, as you would expect, a nice mix of reds and greens. Little bits of purple. That is, okay, there's a few shades of pink and yellow in here. Double checking to make sure I'm not missing an AB, because I don't honestly remember how many ABs were supposed to be in this. Does it say on here? No, this kit doesn't tell you which ones are the ABs, so you'll just have to find out for yourself for fun. Some nice blues, whole big honkin' bag of 38.65 for your background. Let's see. This one does have the 666 True Red, so that'll probably go in the roses. Some nice blues in here. Oops. Oh, shoot. Okay, hold on. We got something. Okay. Something is spilling drills. Is it this one? Okay, yeah, I found it. Okay. The brown that was in this bag here was not entirely closed, so give me just a second while I clean up the few that were flung off the other bags. But that's better than having a big old hole in it, I guess. Alright, I'll fix that in a second. Alright, so some grays. And then, dang it. Hold on. And then some more brown. Alright, so that's your general color palette you're working with. And then the ABs you get in here are sort of a brown, that brownish, reddish, pinkish tone AB. So you get that one. Get a gray AB, like a light gray AB. You get, how would you describe this? It's kind of that gray-green AB. And then the classic, what I call oil slick ABs, which are just a mix of the black, blue, purple, green look. Changes color depending on what you got it next to and what kind of light it's in. So those are your ABs. So yeah. Okay, I'm just going to put this off to the side for a second because I gotta get those other drills out of the bag from where that bag was open. But yeah, the one concern I have about this is looking at this, the actual face of Lady Guadalupe is a little bit mottled looking. So I'll probably have to go a little bit slow there and figure out how to clean up the face a little bit, so it looks a little bit nicer. Everything else looks perfectly fine and looks like it'll come out great, but I'm just noticing the face there looks a little bit sketch. It might be alright, but yeah, I'll just have to play around with that part. But otherwise, very excited to have this one. This is one of those ones that looks sort of bland when you see it undrilled, because the background looks kind of dark and everything. But once you start putting the bright pops of color and the ABs and everything, I think it's one of those ones that's really going to impressively come out and come to life. Especially when you get like the roses done in here, and then you have like the blue roses down here and what looks like blue daisy shape or something over here. And then once you get like the print on the enamel mug coming through, just all the things, I think it's going to be pretty impressive. So yeah, that's what I have today from Paint Some Way. A bit of a longer video, I think, on this one, but I think I got some good stuff in here. So yeah, let me know what you think, and we will talk soon. Bye guys.